You think buying a brand new house keeps you safe from the paranormal, but you are catastrophically wrong. The fresh paint on those walls hasn't even dried before the intruders, both human and spectral, start making themselves comfortable. We're diving into why new foundations are actually magnets for terror. Imagine waking up in your dream home, sunlight pouring through untouched windows, the scent of new wood and plaster still lingering in the air. Everything feels clean, untouched, safe. But what if the strange noises echoing through your hallway aren't just the house settling? What if the silence in your modern sanctuary is hiding something that was waiting long before you signed the mortgage papers? Welcome back to True Terror Files Official, where we uncover real chilling encounters that blur the line between safety and nightmare. If you are fascinated by documented horror, psychological breakdowns, and terrifying real-life invasions, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because some stories don't just entertain, they warn. Modern construction premises, security, reinforced doors, smart locks, surveillance cameras synced to your phone, motion sensors tracking every movement. But here's the unsettling truth. Technology creates confidence, not immunity. Many homeowners lower their guard because everything feels new, advanced, protected, and that confidence, it becomes vulnerability. There's something psychologically powerful about pristine environments. Empty rooms amplify every sound. Air ducts whisper. Floorboards contract. The hum of appliances echoes in stereo hallways. In older houses, we expect creaks. In new homes, we expect silence. So when something breaks that silence, the fear hits harder, louder, sharper. One couple moved into a newly constructed suburban development, excited about the fresh start feeling. The first week was peaceful. The second week brought tapping sounds inside the bedroom walls at exactly 3:17 a.m. every night. They assumed it was plumbing, until the tapping moved from the bedroom wall to the ceiling above them, and then to the hallway. Always at 3:17. Always 3 taps. The builders insisted it was temperature shifts. But temperature doesn't move with intention. New homes are not blank slates. They're built on land that has history. Before foundations are poured, before drywall seals secrets inside, something existed there. Forests cleared, industrial sites demolished, abandoned properties buried under fresh cement. The illusion of new tricks the mind into believing the past has been erased. But land remembers. In one documented case, a housing development was built over land once used as an informal dumping site decades earlier. Not a graveyard, not a haunted asylum, just disturbed ground. Within months, multiple families reported identical phenomena. Doors opening at night despite sealed frames. Security cameras glitching at the same corner of the living room. Pets staring and growling at empty spaces near the staircase. These families didn't know each other, but their experiences mirrored one another in disturbing detail. Why do we associate hauntings with old Victorian mansions, crumbling staircases, antique mirrors? Because horror feels more believable in decay. But maybe that's misdirection. Maybe the real terror hides behind perfection. When you move into a new house, you assume you're the first presence, the first laughter, the first argument, the first footsteps. But what if you aren't? Modern architecture focuses on aesthetics, open floor plans, hidden storage, decorative crawl spaces, expansive attics. But these design trends sometimes create blind spots, literal ones. Builders prioritize visual appeal and cost efficiency. Security sometimes becomes secondary. A family in a newly built luxury home began noticing subtle signs that something wasn't right. Kitchen drawer slightly open in the morning, a faint odor in the hallway they couldn't identify. Items in the garage moved inches from where they left them. They blamed stress from moving, until one night, the husband heard coughing beneath the floorboards. It wasn't pipes. It wasn't wind. It was human. Police discovered a squatter living in an unfinished crawl space beneath the house. The builder had left a concealed access panel unsecured behind insulation. For nearly 2 weeks, a stranger had been living under their home, emerging during the day while the family was at work. The house was brand new, but its vulnerabilities were older than fear itself. Physical invasions in new builds are rising because criminals understand something homeowners don't. New neighborhoods lack established vigilance. Fewer neighbors, empty lots, unfinished streets, security systems installed but not fully configured. Overconfidence becomes the entry point, but not all intrusions are human. There is a long-standing urban legend among construction workers that negative energy can attach itself during building phases. Heated arguments, financial disputes, on-site injuries, sudden deaths, emotional intensity embedded into the structure before the family even arrives. Whether superstition or psychological imprinting, many homeowners report activity beginning immediately after move-in, not months later. One contractor anonymously shared a story about a worker who suffered a fatal accident during framing, officially ruled an equipment malfunction, but workers whispered about strange electrical surges and tools activating without power. Monts La Terre, the first family to move in, reported lights flickering exclusively in the room built on that exact location. Electricians found nothing wrong. New homes aren't immune to old fears. In fact, they may amplify them. When everything looks perfect, imperfections become impossible to ignore. Construction is violent. Earth is dug up, foundations drilled deep, land resapid, trees uprooted, concrete poured into soil that hasn't seen daylight in decades. Some paranormal researchers theorize that this intense disruption can awaken dormant energy rather than eliminate it. A family moved into a sleek, minimalist home built on what used to be an industrial factory lot. The property had been vacant for years before redevelopment. The first month felt normal. Then objects began shifting. Smollett fierced remote controls, falling from untouched tables. Cabinet doors opening overnight. The children complained about the loud man in the walls. Then the poltergeist activity escalated. Heavy dining chairs dragged across tile floors while the family was upstairs. Security footage showed movement, not clear figures, but distortions in the air. Electrical panels short-circuited repeatedly, despite replacement. The activity centered around the basement, which had been constructed directly over what historical records later revealed was the site of a machinery accident decades earlier, involving multiple fatalities. Coincidence? Possibly, but why do so many new homes experience phenomena typically associated with aging structures? One explanation is psychological. New homeowners experience financial pressure, sleep disruption, adjustment stress. Heightened anxiety makes ordinary occurrences feel sinister. But that explanation collapses when multiple independent witnesses report identical experiences. Another unsettling pattern: spectral sightings in modern design spaces. Tall ceilings, floor-to-ceiling windows, minimal furniture. Witnesses describe shadow figures moving across stark white walls, highly visible against clean backgrounds. In older homes, shadows blend into clutter. In modern homes, they stand out. Perhaps entities prefer clean canvases, or perhaps they never left the land to begin with. When your safe haven turns hostile, the mind deteriorates quickly. Sleep deprivation is often the first symptom. Strange noises wake you nightly. Security alerts trigger false alarms. You begin reviewing camera footage obsessively, checking door locks repeatedly, questioning your memory. Did you close that cabinet? Did you lock that window? One homeowner made a frantic emergency call, claiming someone was hacking their smart home system. Lights turning on without command. Thermostat adjusting randomly. Doors unlocking through the mobile app. Cybersecurity experts later found no evidence of external breaches. Yet the disturbances continued even after the Wi-Fi was disconnected entirely. Imagine living in a house where technology designed to protect you appears to turn against you. Paranoia spreads, arguments increase. Family members accuse each other of imagining things. Children develop night terrors. Pets refuse to enter certain rooms. Financial reality traps you. Selling a new home immediately can mean massive loss. So families endure, hoping it will stop. But sometimes, endurance breaks. Several documented cases involve families abandoning properties entirely. Furniture left behind. Mortgage payments The emotional toll outweighed financial ruin. Because once fear settles into walls, it doesn't easily leave. So how do you protect yourself physically and psychologically in a new build? First, never assume new means secure. Reinforce entry points immediately. Upgrade standard build-to-grade locks. Install independent security audits, not just default systems. Inspect crawlspaces, attics, and unfinished access panels personally or with professionals. Map blind spots around your property, especially in developing neighborhoods. Second, research the land. Local archives, historical zoning maps, environmental reports. Was the area industrial, agricultural, abandoned? Transparency matters. Awareness reduces fear of the unknown. Third, trust patterns, not isolated incidents. Uses settler appliances, malfunction, but consistent timing, repeated physical displacement, or multi-witness experiences deserve attention. Document everything calmly and rationally. And most importantly, protect your mental well-being. Fear thrives in silence. If something feels wrong, speak about it. Seek evaluation from both technical experts and mental health professionals. There is strength in investigation, not embarrassment. Because true safety doesn't come from polished floors or smart locks. It comes from awareness. Before you buy that new build, before you celebrate that fresh start, ask yourself, what existed there before you? If this story made you question the silence in your own home, subscribe to True Terraphiles Official. We uncover what others ignore, and sometimes, what we uncover follows us home. Stay aware, stay vigilant, and remember, new walls can still hide old nightmares.